Okay guys, so for this video, and maybe the next one or two, is going to be a series of characters and original villains and whatnot I created for Randy Cunningham, 9th Grade Ninja. I don't know, I've been really getting into the show, if you guys have not noticed from the recent posts and whatnot on some of my videos. So yeah, this is kind of the, these are just original characters, and I never really did anything with them, but I've actually been giving them to my friend Alex for his original fanfiction, Randy Cunningham Ultimate Ninja, which is a story set in a little far future of Randy being a junior, and now not only dealing with McFist, but also new villains and monsters, not from the Sorcerer, but from some new supervillains. It's kind of like Spider-Man, which as we all kind of figure from Randy's that he's got a lot of Spider-Man and Daredevil in him. So yeah. So here's a few original supporting characters, like allies to Randy that I created, and again, I gave them all to Alex to use, so I'll just talk about them here, and then we'll move on to villains. Anyway, so let's get started with George Pierce. George Pierce was this detective in Norrisville I created, this middle-aged African-American detective. Very big guy, been on the force for years. And he's kind of I wouldn't say he's like Randy's Gordon. He's pretty much Randy's Gordon. But unlike Gordon, who's like, no, Batman wouldn't do this, this, and this. He's more like, I'm just kind of indifferent to what what the ninja does. I just want to do my job as a police officer and not get roped up with this crazy shit. But whatever. Randy and him kind of cross paths on occasion every now and again, and it was also kind of a fun way to really look into the Norrisville PD from George's eyes, because yeah, we don't see them at all in this show, if at all, if any. So yeah, I kind of had it that, McFist Industries has a lot of say in there's a lot of money put into the PD, and he's like, hey, just let the ninja handle these monsters and cyborgs and robots and whatnot. You don't need to do that, just handle crime. And crime rate's really low. But when all these supervillains start showing up, it starts to become a problem, and that's when Pierce and Randy start crossing paths more and more. Pierce is, like I said, very indifferent to the ninja's actions, but he is willing to help out because, yeah, the ninja's not a bad guy. So yeah, whenever Randy is like looking for, trying to find a supervillain or trying to work on a case because he's no detective, he goes to Pierce and is like, hey, can you help me out? And he's like, yeah, sure. Or whenever Pierce needs a favor, and he can't really touch somebody, or like, because there's a villain I created, and I talked about him before, called Mr. Blank, who's this gangster, and he's kind of untouchable. So he's like, hey, ninja, can you help me out? Yeah, he's like, yeah. So, yeah, that was kind of Pierce, is that he's this, he's like this, yeah, like I said, he's Randy's Gordon, in a way. So yeah, there's a bit about Pierce. Moving on is Lefty. Lefty is a homeless man that Randy saved as the ninja, from a group of thugs who were just beating on him for the fun of it. And in return, Lefty keeps, Randy informed of all the what's going on the streets. He has all of his friends also who are homeless are all kind of like really have their ear to the ground of like what's going on in the underground with all the villains and whatnot. So whenever Randy's looking for something or like learning about the whereabouts of some villain or gangster, he goes to Lefty. And he's like, "Hey, Lefty, have you heard anything?" He's like, "Yeah, I heard about this, this, and this." And in return, the ninja, like, as a way of saying thank you and all that, he gives him food, he brings him food and a new blanket every week. He does that regardless. But whenever he's, like, bringing, Lefty food for and blankets for his friends, he's like, hey, Lefty, have you heard anything new about this, this, and this? He's like, oh, yeah. And something like that. So, there's a bit about that character. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. So moving on now to Big Bobby. Big Bobby is this character who is the owner of this bar I created called Bobby's Bar. He's this big, heavy-set, really, like, not really, like, muscular, but more like just fat. And he is the owner of this bar that is the home, which is like the stomping ground of like all these gangsters and thugs and thieves and villains. And in return, Bobby really pays attention to what they're listening to. He really tries to overhear whenever he's serving drinks or cleaning dishes and whatnot. He's always got like his ear close to what's going on. Reason being is because he's he's an ally to the ninja and always keeps him informed of all of that. Reason being is because there was a time where he was just like, I don't give a shit about the ninja. I just want to make money and serve drinks. But that changed when Randy rescued his wife from a car crash. Pulled her out of the wreckage, kept her alive long enough for the EMTs to arrive, and now he's like, holy shit, Ninja's awesome! I'm gonna help him out however I can. So in return, he usually is like, whenever Randy's like looking for a villain or wants to know like the next plan, he goes to Bobby and he's like, yo, Bobby, have you heard anything? He's like, yeah, I heard about that, and they're gonna steal this. Good luck, Ninja. So there's Big Bobby. So next character is Dr. Margaret Hollow, who is the head psychiatrist of this asylum called Hollow Hill Asylum, and she is it's pretty much like Arkham Asylum or Ravenscroft, but yeah, in this universe, in Hollow Hill, in this headcanon universe for Randy Cunningham's for Norrisville, is that it's Norrisville's asylum for the criminally insane, and Margaret Hollow is the new head psychiatrist because her father was brutally murdered in a riot in the asylum. So she takes over and becomes an ally to Randy. She's more Dr. Kafka than she is Hugo Strange. She usually helps Randy whenever he's trying to figure out, what's the psychosis of a villain or this and that. When he goes to her to, for advice and whatnot, and usually brings in the more psychotic villains to her asylum. In return, Randy Margaret Hollow helps him in a way that she gives him advice, but also is his personal psychiatrist. Doesn't have to pay for anything, doesn't even ask for his identity. She just gives him private, off-the-books sessions to help him talk, because these villains are really starting to pile high in this point, and he's really starting to feel like, I need someone to talk to or I'm going to lose my shit. So Randy goes to Dr. Hollow just sometimes to be like, hey, can we talk? I need to talk. And she's like, oh yeah, sure, sit on down. Well, let's discuss this. And she just keeps the ninja sane because she knows, the ninja needs to do his job, or we're all fucked. And she doesn't know who Randy is, but however, she does suspect that he's, the ninja's not some 800-year-old warrior. He's a kid, but she doesn't know who he is, and she doesn't want to know because, that's not her business, and the ninja just wants to, if the ninja can't do his job, Norrisville's fucked. So that's her whole thing, is that she goes around she helps him on a mental level. So there you go. There's all of the supporting characters I created for Randy Cunningham, 9th Grade Ninja, which you can all see in the story, in the fanfiction Randy Cunningham Ultimate Ninja, which was created by, like I said, my friend Alex, and I will leave a link in the description below so you guys can check it out. Really fun. It's very Spider-Man-y, but that's the point. Randy Cunningham is definitely does have some certain elements of Spider-Man and Daredevil, and a lot of these characters I created, but I just gave them to him to use however he pleased. And, should be really fun. Like I said, I will leave a link in the description below. And, so you guys tell me, what did you guys think of all these supporting characters for Randy Cunningham 9th Grade Ninja? Did you guys like them? Did you guys hate them? Really interested to see what you guys have to say, because when everyone brings in OC characters, no one really thinks, they're going to either play a villain or be a major focal point. They're never supporting characters. That's a little different here. So just comment below, let me know what you guys think, and stay tuned, because next I'm talking about the villains.